When the series first arrived, it left a visible cultural crater. It defined a specific aesthetic of glitter tears and neon lights, wrapping intense, boundary-pushing high school melodrama in a highly stylized package. From the beginning, that extreme content invited a specific debate. Audiences were split on whether we were watching a provocative artistic masterpiece or an exploitative spectacle that only got a pass because its characters were too young to vote. After the second season wrapped, the production went silent. 4 actual years passed before new episodes materialized. To bridge that gap, the narrative makes a structural leap. The high school hallways are erased entirely, and the protagonists are thrust squarely into their mid-20s. This time jump acts as a definitive stress test for the entire series. Without the built-in excuse of teenage vulnerability, the new season has to stand on its own feet. We finally get to see if the extreme content carries actual thematic weight, or if it relies entirely on the cruelty of youth. To match an older cast, the scope of the show aggressively expands. The tight suburban shots are traded for sweeping Mexican deserts, and the soundtrack leans heavily into Morricone-style tension, creating a full-blown neon western. Creator Sam Levinson uses this new frontier to pivot. He turns the camera away from teenage angst to examine modern capitalism and a decaying American dream. This diagram visualizes the show's thesis. Characters commodify their bodies into 3 distinct funnels. Rue runs drugs across the border. Cassie builds a digital sex work empire. Nate inherits his father's business, trading shoddy land contracts for aggressive real estate development. The characters themselves have become pure commodities. The series is scaling up its signature personal trauma into a statement on the cost of living in modern America. This ambition is anchored in a harsh new geography. The show moves into tawdry Los Angeles apartment complexes, cheap shag carpeting, and endless neon signs. But the time jump exposes a structural flaw. Heightened, terrifying behavior hits differently depending on who is performing it. What plays as precariously edgy when filtered through a high schooler barely registers as an idea when done by an adult in their 20s. The shock value evaporates, leaving behind mundane, toxic behavior. To accommodate this broader scale, the execution suffers. The pacing drags through protracted, self-indulgent scenes, and several legacy characters are sidelined to make room for a crowded cast of new arrivals. This bloat is particularly noticeable in the persistent leering aimed at Cassie. The direction subjects Sydney Sweeney to a predictable routine of revealing costumes and slow-motion lingering. It fails as a commentary on sex work, reading instead as a reflection of how the entertainment industry already treats her. But the capitalism critique ultimately falls flat. It feels like a shallow observation made years too late, unable to mask the series' reliance on unearned excess. With the shield of high school gone, the answer to our earliest questions snaps into focus. Stripped of its youth, the series reveals its true nature as an exploitative, inherently cruel spectacle. Yet one element cuts straight through the decay: Zendaya. Amid the loud, self-aggrandizing choices surrounding her, she delivers a remarkably quiet and nuanced performance. She provides the only emotional gravity left in the script. She matches the energy of every new adult antagonist, going toe-to-toe with deadpan kingpins and commanding the screen. Hers is the only storyline moving forward with actual momentum. The 3rd season proves the show has aged out of its own relevance. It has mutated into a crowded,